Hey guys, Neely here. I'm coming in for another 5 Instant Pot tips in about 5 minutes video. I made my first 5 tips video about 9 months ago, and it is one of my most popular videos. So I figured that since I have learned a little bit more in these past 9 months, I would go ahead and make you another tips video. The first tip I have for you is a tip to help keep your Instant Pot safe. I have seen a lot of horror stories about people in small kitchens who set their Instant Pots on the stove because they don't have enough counter space, and then someone makes the mistake of turning on the wrong burner and the bottom of the Instant Pot gets melted and ruined. I completely understand having a small kitchen and wanting to save space, so the tip I have for you is if you do put your Instant Pot on your stove, go over to the knobs that are the burners under the Instant Pot and take them off. You can set them aside, put them in a drawer, just so they don't accidentally get bumped and someone doesn't accidentally turn on the wrong burner and ruin your beautiful Instant Pot. The next tip I have for you has to do with the wire rack. Of course, you guys can figure out easily that you can cook food on the wire rack like this, but did you know that you can also turn it upside down and cook food on the top, and the handles keep it up to make the food higher above whatever you're cooking underneath. This works great for when you're cooking rice, and I will show you real quick. I have a couple of chicken legs that I just want to reheat, so I am going to throw them on top of here while I cook my rice. I'm cooking jasmine rice, so I'm just going to put it on manual for 4 minutes. My rice is finished cooking and my chicken drumsticks are all heated up and my meal is ready to go. Can you see? I'm just gonna pull my rack out and my rice is ready. So this tip works great with reheating things like I just did. Depending on what you're cooking below and the cooking time you're using, you're gonna have to figure out what else will work above. Keep in mind that whatever you have up high is going to cook a lot slower than what is down below. So if you're making a roast that's going to be cooking for a while, or meat at the bottom, and you put whole carrots or other veggies on top, they'll cook a little slower and the timing should work out great. Also keep in mind that whatever you cook up top is probably going to drip a little bit down below, so make sure the flavors of those foods work well together. The next tip I have for you is about the sealing ring. This is the ring that goes around the inside of the lid of the Instant Pot that helps it come to pressure, and it can get stretched out over time and your pot can start having trouble coming up to pressure. So one tip I have for you is to throw it into the freezer if it starts getting stretched out, and the coldness of the freezer will help it shrink back to size. Tip number 4 is using your Instant Pot instead of a microwave to reheat food. This is great for anyone who is looking to get rid of their microwave or reduce microwave use for whatever reason. Also, it's a great way to reheat leftovers that you don't want to get too dry, because you're using steam to reheat them. It keeps the food from drying out. So I'm going to go ahead and reheat my bowl of wild rice soup. I'm just going to put 1 to 2 cups of water in the bottom, and I have my rack in, and I'm going to set my ceramic bowl here. I would recommend using stainless steel or ceramic. You don't want to use glass if the food that you are going to reheat is cold from the fridge, because the cold food plus the hot coming from the bottom can cause glass to break. So if you do use glass in the Instant Pot, you want to make sure that it is room temperature and that the food inside is room temperature before you start. And I'm just going to set it on steam for 3 minutes. I just quick released the pressure and my soup is ready to eat. All in all, this takes a little bit more time than using a microwave, but for those who are wanting to reduce their microwave use, it is a good option that gets less dishes dirty. I didn't have to put it in a pot on the stove. Also, my Instant Pot is not dirty, it just has the water in the bottom. And one tip that I got from the amazing Donna, who is an Instant Pot expert, a while back, she told me that she makes her morning oatmeal doing the pot in pot method, and the water at the bottom, the hot water at the bottom, she uses to make her tea. So you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone that way. The last tip I have for you is when your pot is almost up to pressure and you can see the steam coming out and the pin hasn't quite popped up yet, you can speed that process along just by pressing on the top of the lid. the pin will go ahead and pop up. It might save you a few seconds. The pin will pop up on its own eventually, but it just makes it go a little bit faster. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed these tips. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any more tips. I will continue to do this series of videos as long as I have tips to share. I hope you guys are doing great. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye, guys.